Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we will be going over what I think will be the 100-meter final, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
Alright, so there is so much to talk about here in this video. I'm really excited about being able to do it. If you like the information, click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. That always helps us out a ton. And we're going to go right into it here and talk about the World Championships 2022. If you are living under a rock, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But much of you who would be watching this video are people that are following track and field and know exactly what I'm referring to. And there's so many great things to talk about here today. The first thing I want to start off with is USA absolutely represented today, killed it in all the heats. USA won the heat. Super excited about that. I'm American. I know people are not always excited when I do that, but if you are from America for USA, rooting for one of the USA sprinters, go ahead and leave that a comment down below, a USA, an American flag, or whatever, or even the actual sprinter that you're rooting for. If not, then you can leave the country that you're rooting for. I'm supportive of just overall track and field competition, the human race in general. And so we'll go into what are, or who I think are going to be the top sprinters here. And we're going to go into the races as well. We'll go into Fred Kerley. Obviously, I mean, just if you don't think he's the favorite, then I mean, the whole season shows that he should end up being the guy that wins the 100-meter. I'm not saying that's going to be what happens, but he ran another great 9:79 today in the heat. You know, best time that he ran this year is 9:76. And so he is, to me, the number one guy, the number one contender here. I'm going to actually do this in the order of who or how confident I am that they will be in the finals. So number one is Kerley. Number two is going to be Bromell. Trayvon Bromell also did excellently. The only other guy that ran sub 9.9 today is Trayvon Bromell. My number three pick is going to be Oblique Seville. Somebody that ran 9.86 earlier, looked great, easily beat Lamont Jacobs or Marcel Jacobs, the gold medal winner, and I mean, it didn't even look that difficult to him. So to me, that's going to be number three. And this is when it starts to get interesting. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here. It was so hard to be able to limit down to just 8 that are going to be in the final. The competition for the track and field is going to just be amazing. I mean, tomorrow I'm so excited about the semifinals and obviously the finals. So then from here, to me, you know, I made a video about a dark horse potentially could be Zarnell Hughes. I thought Zarnell Hughes in this race looked pretty good. The big thing that he needs to work on is overall is his start. Doesn't look great in his start, but his top speed looks pretty good. Didn't seem like he had to push it as much. Easily was able to beat everybody else in the field other than Kerley. You know, was out in front and just kind of coasted there at the end. So I don't see Zarnell Hughes not being there unless he false starts, which ends up being a thing that he does pretty commonly. Number five to me is going to be Sonny Brown, just because he very, very easily won his heat as well. He had Omanyala in his heat, which is somebody that, I mean, to me, very well could be in, and I have him in the list in the top 8, and so I think he's going to probably end up being there. You know, his heat was pretty competitive, but easily ran a 9.98, which was great. So he's number 5. Number 6 is going to be Letzel Tebogo, who to me looked excellently again. He ran a 9.94, which is a new under 20 record, and really didn't seem to struggle. To me, I think he's going to run sub 9.9 in the semifinals, or you know, around that 9.9 even, which should get him into the finals. I think he's going to do whatever it takes in order to make it there. He definitely has the talent. Is just somebody that has a ton of skill overall. So I'm definitely going to see, or to me, number 6 is going to be Tebogo. And then, I mean, now it's starting to get really difficult here. To me, you know, I'm going to go Omanyala. The reason is because he has the 3rd fastest time in the entire world this year as of right now. And so, and he obviously had some issues in traveling and getting there. He got there like 3-4 hours before the race even was. So have a little bit more time to sleep and rest and get mentally ready and not have to rush and have stress and blah, 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 blah. I think he should be somebody that they can get there easily, though. Cannot, I mean, this space could have easily a different 4 people in there. I do feel fairly confident about the top 6, right? But the next, and I'll say that the next 4 who I think could potentially be in here, obviously, you know, the big thing is that I'm going to leave out 2 guys that is probably going to be controversial here. But the next person that I'm going to put is going to be Marvin Bracy, okay, which means that I'm leaving out both the Olympic champion in Marcel Jacobs as well as the 2019 world champion in Christian Coleman. I just think that Omanyala and Bracy have had better seasons than both of them. I think that they are both looked better yesterday or earlier today than Jacobs and Coleman. I mean, Coleman really, I mean, it seemed like he's stressed to go and run a 10:08, and I want to say that was the slowest heat, was his heat. I mean, he didn't seem like he was really that impressive when he did it. Yeah, his heat was the slowest heat, and I mean, he let up a little bit there, but the amount that he let up, he almost let Andre DeGrasse come and catch him. I mean, he didn't beat Andre DeGrasse by a lot, only 0.04 of a second. So, yeah, I'm going to go, and I mean, those would be the next 2 would obviously be Jacobs and Bracy. 9 and 10 would be Jacobs and Bracy, but these are going to be my 8 that I think are going to be in the finals. Would love to hear who you guys think is going to be in the finals. I do want to go over the video here. So we see this one here on the left is going to be Oblique Seville. Really a great start. You know, it's great to be able to see the competition between him and Marcel Jacobs. Love his front side mechanics. One of the things that we've talked a lot about recently. And again, I mean, this was an excellent race with some great sprinters. And then primarily what I wanted to do here is look at Fred Curley. A couple things that stood out to me. And just to let you guys know, if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I like to do breakdowns on these sprinters just to give you guys a better idea of what are these guys doing. So not only do we want to look at it from a kind of entertainment perspective of being able to watch some of the best in the world, but let's also get a little bit into the technical side of like what it is that they're doing in order to achieve this. And I think what's super impressive about what Fred Curley was able to do is he was the tallest guys in this race, and let me go back one. Okay, so I mean, you could say that he has the same time as here, but really he beat everybody to the 5th step other than Su Bing Chen, who is the shortest person in this race, right? And that's really impressive that he was able to get those first 5 steps down as quickly as he did. And you can see how he does a great job of being able to not only get the feet down and be able to transition off quickly, but he's also doing a good job of getting extension in that leg, right? So he's not fully bent over. You can even see him compared to Zarnell Hughes, and these guys are about the same height. He's a lot more flexed at the hip than Zarnell Hughes. Zarnell Hughes is already standing up a good amount, right? And that's going to make it so he had the start that he had, right? You could tell he's definitely been putting the time and the effort to work on his start. And so now while Zarnell Hughes has a great finish, obviously, because of his height, Fred Curley has even more of an advantage because look at how far out in front he gets. And so, you know, they're pretty similar in terms of top speed, but, I mean, it's arguable that Fred Curley is probably faster, and he's also a better starter. So that's the reasons why he's the favorite. Because, I mean, not only does he have the start mechanics, but he also has the top-end speed ability as well. So, you know, the other guys that are, you know, like, I mean, I'm leaving off Christian Coleman, obviously, but he's somebody that has a great start and is not great at the finish. I mean, Trayvon Rommel, he has a great start. You can't really say he's not great at the finish, but he's not as good as Fred Curley at the finish. And even Marvin Bracy, another guy that has a really great start, but is not able to finish as strongly as Fred Curley. So for those reasons, it really gives Fred Curley a big advantage going into the race. I mean, I do think that there's going to be a lot of you know, great competition tomorrow. Looking at the start, I do want to go into a couple things here. As good of a start as this was in a lot of ways, I still think that Fred Curley can get better, and you know, I just can't wait to be able to continue to learn and get more exposure and be able to have more athletes that have success, have continued to be able to get more and more guys to understand some of the mechanics and start to really see some great results. And the more time that I'm able to spend on being able to really focus on the mechanics and understanding the mechanics, the better I think the results are going to end up getting. And what I would even say with looking at Fred Curley here is that as he's coming through, like there's things that he can improve on within his mechanics. We look to see how he's coming through his left leg. Primarily, he's landing and this foot and his knee is not coming through as well as he can. And so when this foot's hitting the ground, I mean, this is obviously slow motion, so we're looking at 0.60 when that first foot hits the ground. We're going to say it comes off at about 0.83, okay? And then the right foot, much better in terms of the position. I'll go into that more on the next one. But really what we want to be able to do is we'd want to be able to have this heel facing a little bit more just straight, right? So you can see how this one, it's facing more straight. We have that knee, right underneath. You could have it even slightly inside, but to me, getting right underneath would be perfect. You're able to then go into an external rotation or loading of the hip, and that maintains a good activation through that foot. So then he pushes back off in 187. Okay, sorry, and he landed it at, I want to say it was right at 0, yeah. Somewhere between the 0 mark or 97. I mean, we could say 97 for this, or sorry, 97. It's still 0.2, okay, overall, okay, even with it being 9.7. So to me, it would be probably closer to 0.0, but whatever. Here we're landing, and we're going to say it's 0.30. Okay, that's when this foot hits the ground. Now, we can see some of the issues here. One, he is... And there's going to be different trains of thought, obviously. I mean, at the end of the day, the knee is still underneath the foot, so that's not bad. Okay, it's not good when the foot ends up being inside of the knee. Okay, but a lot of inward facing of the heel compared to the last one. That knee is a lot more facing out to the side. So now when he lands, see that pronation right there, and that's different than what we saw in that last step. So that makes it so then he has to load into that foot differently, and then therefore he has to push off differently, okay? So that one again goes down into 0.2, right? And then we're gonna see this one, so he lands at 6.7, right? Little bit turned in, right? Not a great landing here on the right side, but still he has a lot more stability, a lot more control overall. Let's go back. So 0.13, and he's off by 3.0. Okay, so he's at 1.7. Okay, then we got 4.3 where he's landing. Again, see how turned out he is, how he has to land on the outside foot and then come into pronation. It's making so he's spending more time, right? So we're seeing 0.17 foot contact time on the right compared to 0.20 consistently on the left. Now, obviously, these are in very, very slow motion. So this is happening, I mean, this is probably within close degree of like 50% would be my guess based off of these numbers. And so it just shows, though, that he's more effective on the right side because of some of the biomechanics that he has. Again, he could still be more effective biomechanically than this landing. This is not as optimal as it could be, okay? As much as he has a lot of things that he does really, really well, really well. He's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world currently. But that doesn't mean that there's still biomechanical things that we could see here, right? When it comes to, look at the front side mechanics. He does such a great job of being able to transition right off the ground. I mean, there's a lot of things that he does that are very, very, I don't want to take anything away from him, but I do want to see or look at the feet and be able to say, hey, there's things that can still improve. Right, and so if you have any comments, have any questions, have anything to really say after watching some of this information, whether it's your top 8, whether it's what you are looking at when you're looking at the start to be able to help people and improve their foot contact or improve their foot contact time, would love to be able to hear from you. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. As well as, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be producing content all week this week for the World Championships. You can also check out the description down below if you want to learn a little bit more about how you can run faster, get better mechanics, really go in depth into what it is that you're doing, right? So what you would do is you would send over video to me. I look at it, I break it down, I give you drills, I give you exercise, I give you workouts, I make it so you can understand how to get faster and really from a technical perspective, give you all the tools necessary to be able to improve. We're seeing guys that are getting a lot better because they're getting better coached, they're getting better understanding of what they need to be doing, and that's really what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to help you get that true understanding of what do I have to do from a focus perspective, just having the language behind it, right? That having some words or some cues to be able to put towards your actual production of speed, production of force, and overall performance. Because I find a lot of people don't succeed or reach the levels that they want to reach because they don't have a great grasp or a great understanding of what it is they're trying to do. And what I want to do with these breakdowns and giving you a better understanding is give you the opportunity to be able to succeed and be able to succeed at the highest level. So like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.